Hi, and welcome to my video review of the Dragon Touch 7-inch quad-core Android Kids tablet. This one in particular has a pink silicone case. It also comes in blue. There are previous year's versions that come in different colors, and I'm sure this will come out with different colors soon. As far as I can tell, the 2015 and 2014 models are essentially identical tablets. In fact, they may literally be identical, I'm not sure. If you have not yet already, please read the written review that accompanies this. There are instructions in there that I think are essential to turn this into a useful tablet. When it comes out of the box, it is essentially useless as I described, but you can actually make it pretty nice. Let's go into that in a minute. First, let's see what you get. In the box, you get the tablet, obviously. You get the silicone case, which comes in various colors. It does not come attached to the tablet. You put it on yourself. It just slides in very easily. You get a micro USB cable, which, if you were like me, you've got thousands of these, but you do get one if you need it to connect to a computer or to connect to a USB charger, which I'll talk about in a minute. You also get the charging cable. I mentioned in my review the tip on this is pretty small. I don't know if that's obvious or not because this may not focus correctly, but it's very small compared to a fingertip. It's very thin. I have a feeling it's going to bend or break if you're not careful. Fortunately, when you do plug it in, the silicone case itself is a little bit of a protector here, so hopefully once it's plugged in, you can see a nice reflection there. Once it's plugged in, it might keep it fairly safe. The problem is also that this cord, I've got it bundled up here for the review, but the cord is actually really short, maybe 3 feet or so. So you can't really get this tablet very far away from an outlet while it's charging, and you'll probably be charging it fairly frequently. Just something to keep in mind. Fortunately, as I described in my review, I found out that even though they don't mention it, you can charge it via USB. The micro USB port does work. This, by the way, is a very funky cable that actually shows it's charging. I might mention that it's available on Amazon. I might mention the link to that when I update my review with this link. Also in the box, this is very nice. Read this first note that's nearly useless, because what it doesn't tell you is that you can charge it via micro USB, and it doesn't tell you that you can't use Flash Player and all those other things I'm about to tell you. There's also a Stop, Need Help, Call Us card that tells you where to call, and if these people can actually talk you through the stuff I'm going to tell you or that I wrote about in the written review, then they deserve a medal, because there's an awful lot you need to do to this tablet to make it useful, but I assure you once you do that, it actually is useful. Another thing I mentioned in my written review is the user manual. You can take this and essentially just throw it away. When you open it up, you'll notice that there are instructions that refer to ports that either don't exist on the tablet or aren't where they say they are. In fact, you'll see there are a lot of screenshots that are nothing like what the tablet's going to look like when you open it up. And again, we just go through instruction after instruction on both sides that is either out of date or completely non-applicable to this tablet. So I assume that that's a user manual they put in with every tablet they sell. For this tablet, it's effectively useless. Let's say that you're a parent, you purchase this tablet, you open the box, you want to give it to your kid. You can't do that. Follow the review that I wrote with this to tell you the things you need to do, because if you don't do that, you're not going to see much. If you do, though, do some of those changes. You'll see that this is actually a pretty nice little tablet. What I've done here is I've actually just gone through those steps, installed a few things. I've set up a live wallpaper. You can see it works. Your kids might like this. This is one of the ones that has leaves and raindrops. I've put on Google Now. You can see that it'll load information. You can say, "Okay, Google," and it will listen to me. In fact, what is the weather today? Yeah, it may not have heard me, so we'll move away from that. It actually would listen to me, but I'm not on a great connection right now. Anyway, Google Now does tend to work pretty well. The Google Launcher I like. It's just personal preferences. I've also moved a number of child-friendly apps into the app tray and gotten rid of some of the things that aren't friendly. I tested all these. They do work, although I can't guarantee that every one of them works every time you open it up. You might have some setup involved. I've got the Disney Channel. If you're on Wi-Fi and you have a cable subscription that allows you access to the Disney Channel, this will let you watch live TV for free. I've got Google Play Movies. There are some fun things there that you can download if you'd like. I'm not saying you have to use this. I'm just saying that it does work. Let's see if it actually comes up. And the picture when you actually do something looks reasonably decent. You can see the very nice little camera setup I've got here. I don't know if you can actually see much in the way of beautiful scenery, but of showing stuff to the kids that you might need to see. The one thing is that the sound on this may sound better to you because of the way the sound is bouncing off this board to the microphone over there, but it's really not it's not stellar sound. So one of the things I did note in the review is that the speaker, which I'll point out is on the back, is pretty quiet. You'll probably want to use headphones. But anyway, you can actually see that it's not a bad product. And once it's all set up, I've got Netflix on here. That may or may not be something you want to use. Club Penguin, also something kids tend to like. Fruit Ninjas works. Slices Fruit. You can put Angry Birds on here. I've replaced the camera that came with it with the Android camera with Google's camera. I think it takes moderately less terrible pictures. That these cameras are really not that great, but they will take the kinds of pictures kids won't mind. But anyway, once you've set this up, and when I set it down, you can notice that the view angle on the screen is just really not very good at all. But if you're a kid and you're looking straight on, it's fine. So anyway, my point is, if you follow the instructions, as you can see, the tablet is a nice tablet. It is usable. You can charge it with micro USB. You can plug it in with the other charger if you want it to charge faster. You can put a micro SD card in here, put movies on it, play it with the built-in movie player that it comes with, or with something like MX Player or MX Player Pro, which I like. And kids can watch this stuff in the car, and it won't be a problem. You don't have to be on Wi-Fi. Some of the stuff will work just fine without it. It's up to you which apps you want to put on. One of the things that you'll note is that it's not particularly super fast at how it switches things around. Let's move this over to here, but it's not horrible. For kids, it'll be fine. It's doesn't have an awful lot of memory, so if you put one app in and you're done with it, I highly recommend that you learn how to get rid of some of those old apps so they're not taking up memory. But generally, it's a nice tablet. It's reasonably responsive. For $60, it's actually something I could see myself using now. If I wanted to sit down and look at a few things, watch something on Netflix, it's not the best picture, but it's not bad. It's lightweight. It's thin. It's pretty sturdy with this case on it. The only thing I would say is if you have small kids, as I did mention, it isn't waterproof. So you might want to tape up some of these ports if you think they're going to be taking it anywhere near where it's going to get wet, but that's your call. It does have a microphone. You can actually, I believe, video chat with it. I've not tried that. I suspect it might work okay. One thing to keep in mind in that case is, again, the cameras are, there's the front camera. You can see there's a rear camera here. They are exactly the same part as far as I can tell. They take equally bad pictures, but they do take pictures. They will do video. You can see that I think kids would have a good time with something like this. I don't know if I'd recommend for kids much over 5 or 6, but in terms of just a device, they might think it's just maybe beneath them. But honestly, it's usable for just about anybody if it's set up properly. You can't run a lot of apps at once. You don't have a lot of memory in it, but it's $60. It comes with a protective case. It comes with a charger you need. You can install lots of apps on it. It's got enough room for a lot of apps, and the ones that don't fit, it's got a micro SD slot where you can put more on. You can watch movies. It's not a bad little tablet. But I will say that being said, I think it is horrible that they are selling this as a kid's tablet with the software that comes on it. Please read the written review. Zoodles that comes with this is terrible software. Absolutely atrocious. And you cannot use it unless you install Flash Player, and you cannot install Flash Player with the stuff that's set up on here. Not only that, but if you do install it, you get none of the benefits they talk about if you don't pay $5 a month, although you can get it for $30 a year. Complete ripoff, worthless software. Just follow the instructions I said and replace it with your own software. You can go to the Google Play Store. You can put what you want on it. I recommend that. So, why did I give it 4 stars? I gave it 4 stars because once it is all set up, it's quite a nice little tablet. But you are going to have to put, if you follow those instructions, it's going to be maybe half an hour worth of work into getting this set up. Some time doing the restore, a little bit of time figuring out which apps you want to put on for your kids. I've set it up a certain way. You can set it up however you like. But the point is you can set it up nicely, but you are going to have to spend some time doing that. If you do, it's a 4-star tablet. I don't think you're going to find a better tablet for $60 or even that close to that price range at all, especially one that's got a nice casing on it. But if you don't do it, you're going to find yourself with, I don't know, basically a coaster. Out of the box, it's not very useful. But A little bit of effort, nice little tablet. Thank you.